these are some of the important keywords, like as we study and understand these clauses, so it is important that you understand these words. What are some of the keywords? Let us try to understand. Shall. So wherever the shall is written, it is requirements, it is mandatory. So always remember this one thing: wherever shall is written, it is mandatory. Okay. So that means you have to show some evidence. Evidence does not mean that it has to be in hard copy. Please remember this. Evidence does not necessarily to be in hard copy. It can be in soft, it can be in drive, it can be in cloud, it can be any evidence, right? So wherever shall is written, that means it's a mandatory requirement. Okay, so that is something which is required. It has to be evidence, it has to be proof, and the best way people prove is through evidence, right? That's the reason that most of the places where shall will be written, the auditor will expect the some sort of evidence, because how you will show that, right? Unless you will have some evidence. So wherever shall is written, it's a requirement, it's a mandatory requirement. That is something you need to understand. Wherever should is written, it is recommendation. That means should is written, it is not mandatory, it is recommended. For example, in one of the clause requirement in the supplier selection or supplier or selection, it is written that you should is written and then I think should or may is written, where it is written that the supplier which you are selecting, should have automotive business. You understand? The supplier which you are selecting should have automotive business. So it is written in should. So that means it's not mandatory. It is good if you are selecting some supplier and he's already supplying to, let's say, automotive part of automotive supply chain. So he will understand the language of automotive supply chain. That's the reason. Like this way they have given so many places should requirement. So it is recommended, but it is not mandatory. The auditor cannot give non-conformity on that. So wherever can is written, it is a possibility, like this can be done, right? It is again a kind of I will say slight variation, like when it comes to recommendation or possibility means it can be done. So where may is written, it's a permission that it is up to you for your organization to do this. Wherever note is written, it is for clarification. So not to make it more complex, so wherever this shall is written, it is mandatory, and wherever these words are written, should, can, may, and note, so these are basically the non-mandatory. But yes, if that can be done, it should be done, right? So always remember, wherever shall is there, it's a mandatory requirement. You have to show some evidence.